This is my click agreements assignment for CYB-220. Click wrap agreements sometimes are referred to as click accept, click to sign, click through agreements are those that users accept online by clicking a box or checking a box that says I agree. Click wrap contracts are frequently used to create formal agreements between service providers and customers in e-commerce, software licensing, social media platforms, and other online services. These agreements, which frequently cover rights and obligations, privacy policies, dispute resolution procedures, and user rights and duties, regulate how the service or program is used. The legal precedents, online and internet contracts have the same legal bindings as their paper equivalents. Click wrap agreements are the best option if you're attempting to determine the most secure and effective way to provide online contracts, privacy policies, and terms and agreements. Click wrap agreements are frequently used in online purchases, but whether or not they can be enforceable depends on a number of variables, including the clarity, the user's level of permission, legal precedent, and the compliance with the law. To reduce the possibility of legal challenges and increase the likelihood that the terms will be enforced, businesses should make sure that the terms are presented to users accurately and clearly. Things to consider with click agreements is the consent and user awareness, terms and conditions, transparency, and agreement. The agreement is accessible. So basically, can the user look at the contract or the agreement before they click the box? Click wrap agreement needs to have the following in order to be enforceable according to Pandoc. Terms and conditions that are easily retrievable and accessible, openness regarding uncommon terms, positive action to show agreement or acceptance. Basically, does it show that you're actually clicking a check box like for click here? And extensive kept records of evidence that describe the term of the contract, the clientele and when they access the contract. And this is a case from 2007, Fieldman versus Google Incorporated, where the plaintiff Fieldman claimed that the form selection clause was unjust and that he didn't agree with the terms of the agreement. The court was required to determine the validity of the online agreement between the plaintiff and the defendant. This is a clear example of how click agreements can be enforced. Fieldman argued in the Fieldman versus Google lawsuit that he had not consented to the AdWords agreement form selection clause. Nevertheless, the courts ultimately determined that the online agreement was legitimate and that Fieldman had consented to it by performing certain actions. The ruling indicates that the AdWord agreement, a contract involving Fieldman and Google, has a form selection clause that the court has decided is legally binding. From all of the sources and this court case, it shows how click agreements are just as powerful as the ones signed on paper. And this is my reference list for this project.